Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here, up at the top of Mount Elbert, the highest peak in Colorado at 14,385 feet. But today we are actually going to be talking about stratagems coming to the game. More specifically, what we could be expecting for Warbonds and to help us fight against the enemies more effectively. Now, that being said, some of you have probably already seen this before. Keep in mind, there's lots of new Helldivers coming in on the daily, so, keeping that in mind and just be aware that some of you might have seen this, but not all of you have. But without further ado, let's get into today's topic.
Big question is, what are we going to be getting next in terms of enemy types that are going to cause more chaos? How are we going to combat them? And what we can be expecting in the next Warbond when it does drop? Because this time we actually don't know the theme at all. There's no leaks or data mine, but there are a bunch of stratagems. I also wanted to go over the fact that when this does drop, there's likely going to be a big update. As Shams, the CEO, did say, while I'm here regarding performance, we are 100% aware it isn't great right now. We're tracking closely and have numerous things in motion. We'll be sharing details on what we'll do in the not too distant future. We appreciate the patience until we get back to our usual performance, and hopefully when some of these stratagems come in, which a lot of them are really big and explosive, it doesn't tank the performance more than it already is. But let's go ahead and talk about some things we can be expecting to see. Now, these might actually be pretty helpful and useful against the Illuminate because, well, they are also going to be bringing in their own weaponry, such as the whip that we've seen so much. There's also a two-handed axe. They have magical abilities, so having a larger arsenal is going to help us out a ton. On a recent Reddit post, Tier 5 NPC gave us a ton of information on upcoming content to the game, and the first thing I want to go over is a disclaimer, because some of the footage you're going to see is due to the sheer darkness, and he wanted us to know that the following showcase, if you see it, is going to be using a fully custom night vision system along with weapons and armors that are not native to the game. So that part of the game and content does not seem to be coming in the near future. Anyways, that being said, let's go over and talk about a new particular hazard event from the first game is going to be coming into a new planetary site event. And this is going to be an eclipse/event hazard. It's going to be caused by a much bigger planet covering the sector's sun, plunging the map into a darkness of deep blue, and on certain maps, completely in darkness, to the point that the only source of light will be your beacons, weapon-mounted flashlights, and of course, flare, to be taken with a grain of salt, as in the state right now, it's borderline unplayable. So this might be something that we might not actually be able to play in the near future. That being said, the enemies such as the bots are going to be able to still detect Helldivers at a moderate distance. The bugs, on the other hand, can pretty much only see smoke until you start running, shooting your weapon, or cool down a stratagem. Keep in mind that the flare tracks chaff around it like moths to a flame. Basically, if we want to be able to see properly, we're going to have to fight some enemies to go ahead and along with that deal with some friction. Now, this stratagem is a call time instant. It's got a cooldown of 30 seconds and it lasts for 30 seconds. The flare stratagem is a free objective stratagem that is exclusively offered to operations with the planetary eclipse and will not take any of your current stratagem slots and will be available similar to when Super Earth gives weapons and stratagems to test or use, such as the free rail cannon strike we had just the prior week. Now, this planetary event will be very similar to the super colony of Meridia, which we turned into a black hole, and the planet will be Clendath 2, which is rumored to have something brewing when one of its neighboring planets will undergo a transformation in which rings will appear. The planet to be in question holds startling similarities to the planet from Starship Troopers, along with the system Clendathu in which it's found. So there definitely is some nod to Starship Troopers there. Obviously, this game has always taken a lot of inspiration from it. There are actually some game voice files in it right now. Some of them says, one shudders to envision what repulsive larva gestates within the gloom as we speak. Helldivers, the Terminatives has spawned some foul new Masmia to stay in our galaxy. Good to finally have the super colony eradicated, now to do the same to the Illuminate. And along with that, there's a whole new log of new Illuminate added that most of you have seen on the Steam files. And there's new conversational transcripts that also point to these, such as the Illuminate secure dark fluid mission, find the dark fluid, secure the means to defend democracy. The Illuminate cannot be allowed to retain dark fluid. Who knows what heinous schemes they devised in their century of exile. There's also some images, some of them have already been put into the game, such as missing colonists explained, which has been an issue going on in the past. Along with that, multiple distress calls, multiple signal stations across the galaxy and sectors far away from Terminator automaton fronts have picked up multiple distress calls from several planets. Despite these planets being classified as sparsely populated, there's no real significance. However, we did get this crazy image right here, which does seem to be the dark fluid harvesters that Tier 5 NPC showed us, where they are absolutely just bombing the planet, scouring their resources. This actually reminds me a ton of Mass Effect with the Reaper, so it will be interesting to see that come in. That being said, there are some stuff that we've been waiting for a very long time. Go ahead and play the gameplay by Emptiness, who goes ahead and shows us a ton of the cool unreleased stratagem, and take a look at some of these.
Mission at 10 minutes remaining. Support weapon. Never mind.
Buzzhole, northeast, 50 meters.
Orbital inbound.
Deploying support weapon.
Say hello to democracy! That's empty.
Coming in hot.
Yeah!
Tactical asset near your location.
Let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts on some of the stratagems you saw, and what one would you like to see come to the game next, and which one do you think will be the most powerful against new enemy types? Also, don't forget to check out this video right here where I cover more news on Helldivers on the daily, and until next time everyone, thanks for stopping by. Keep spreading managed democracy.